Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kami and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark, which means I buy thrifted clothing, shoes, purses, accessories, all sorts of things, and flip them online for a profit on Poshmark. So it is 2021. We made it through 2020. Thank God, am I right? But a few good things did come out of 2020. I did start reselling not just my own items, but I actually started buying things to resell and treating it like a business. And so I wanted to go over my numbers from 2020, as well as my top 10 highest priced sales and my top 5 selling brands for 2020, and then also go over some goals that I have for 2021. So if you're interested in seeing that information, and if you're interested in seeing any other Poshmark content like thrift with me's, thrift hauls, and what sold videos, please subscribe and hit the bell notification. That way you're notified every time that I post a video. And let's go ahead and get started. All right, so my first official part-time reseller sale on Poshmark was May 11th of 2020. I did sell items before, but they were just my own, and I had never thought about it as a way to actually make money by purchasing things to then resell. So I did start on May 11th selling items that I had purchased at garage sales, thrift stores, places like that. And so I have been thrifting to resell and reselling for about 8 months now. It has been an amazing journey so far, and I'm really excited to have my first full calendar year of 2021 to resell. So I'm going to go over a few just overall numbers, and then we'll get into my top 10 highest price items, as well as my top 5 selling brands. So just to start off, I sold 367 items from May 11th through the end of 2020. It was about 7.5, 8 months. And I think that was pretty good. I definitely ramped up my purchasing and selling towards the second half of the year, starting about July, maybe August, because I started taking it more seriously and I saw the potential of what I could do with my business. So I sold 367 items. My total gross sales, which is just the amount that it sold for, including, not including taking out any Poshmark fee or cost of goods, was $6,506.50, which equals out to about $17.73 of an average sale price per item, which I think was pretty good for my first year. Then after you take out Poshmark fees, any shipping discounts that I provided, as well as my cost of goods on those 367 items, my total net earnings was $4,401.35, which is an average profit per item of $11.99. Now, when I started reselling, I told my husband that I wanted to at least make an average of $7 profit per item for 2020. So I definitely surpassed that. In the last few months of the year, I definitely was able to sell some higher priced items, which of course you're going to see here in a few minutes, which definitely helped that. But I also sell a lot of bread and butter items, and those items sold for a little bit higher than I would have expected when I first started. Of course, by now I have a lot more knowledge about what sells well on Poshmark, and so I'm able to pick up items that I think are going to sell more than I did in the beginning. I did have a lot of duds, and I do still have quite a few items that I purchased full price at thrift stores that definitely I shouldn't have picked up for that price. But I'm excited to see in 2021 where my knowledge will go and what it will do for my business. I did also want to mention that my cost of goods on those 367 items was $718.77, which was just under an average of $2 per item, which is right about the average price that I pay per item when you take all of my items across last year and hopefully this year and divide it up. So I'm pretty happy with my cost of goods right now. I get a lot of inventory from the bins, and during the summer I love to go garage selling, spend all Saturdays doing it, and so that really helps my cost of goods stay low. All right, so now I'm going to tell you guys my top 10 highest price sales, and for what you call 10th place, I had 4 items that sold for the exact same amount. So these are going to be 10, 9, 8, and 7. So at 10, we had these Fry Melanie flat loafers. They sold for $50 and they took 34 days to sell. Then I sold these Sorel black sneak chic alpine boots. They were super cute and they sold for $50 as well, and they took 33 days to sell. I also sold these Timberland mid-bark boots and they sold for $50. These actually only took 2 days to sell. These Ariat baby fat boots, which my mom actually picked up from a garage sale for me while I was away for the weekend. So thanks, Mom. They sold for $50 and they only took 4 days to sell. So coming in at number 6 is this Lululemon Green City Sweat men's hoodie. My husband actually found this at a Goodwill and it still even had the size tag on it. And it sold for $55 in 10 days. I sold this Hoka 11 pair of Clifton 6 running shoes and they sold for $55 and they sold in 18 days. Coming in at number 4, I sold these Freebird Irish boots. I have an interesting story about this pair of boots. I actually found it at a garage sale for $3 and I was kind of surprised that no one else had picked it up. However, I actually did a double take. I picked them up and I looked at the bottom and I couldn't really see a brand, but it caught my eye. And as I set it down, I thought, wait, I think those are Freebirds. And sure enough, I picked them back up and they were just extremely dirty. It took me probably only 20-25 minutes to clean them up and I got them clean and they sold for $70 the same day that I listed them. Number 3 were these Burberry rain boots. I actually spotted them while I was checking out at a Goodwill and I asked my husband to go grab them and see what brand they were and he whispered Burberry to me and I was like, yes, grab them. I think they only ended up costing me $9 and they sold for $90 and they sold the exact same day that I listed them too. All right, second place are these UGG Adirondack 2 boots. They were actually my size and I had a really hard time getting rid of them, but it doesn't snow that much here and I knew that someone else could get more use out of them than I could. And they sold for $110 and they sold in 4 days. So I definitely think it was worth not keeping. All right, in first place, I sold this Robert Graham Rare Silvano button down. I actually found this at a local consignment store, which is my absolute favorite consignment store to shop at. And it was on clearance for, I believe, 75% off. And they had it marked, I think, $115. So I got it for around $30, $32 with tax. And come to find out, it was actually a rare button-up. It was in excellent condition. And Flo Rida actually wore it to some awards show. So I made sure to mention that in my listing. Can you guys guess how much it sold for? It sold for $170 and it took 34 days to sell. So one thing I did want to mention is that although you could see that I made some really good money with a few gems, that's not what I make majority of my money on Poshmark with. The majority that I make money off of is bread and butter brands. So I'm going to go over my top 5 most selling brands. And you'll notice that none of these brands were any brands that were my highest selling, but they're the ones that sell most frequently for me and the ones that I can find most frequently in my area where I thrift at. All right, so coming in at number 5 of my most sold brands is Nike. This actually kind of shocked me just because I tend to not pick up that much Nike, at least not till here recently. I didn't find it a lot at garage sales this summer, but I actually sold 13 items over the year of Nike brand. So I was kind of happy to see that, and I'll make sure to definitely start picking it up a lot more during this year. Now, the next 4 you're going to see are bigger sized brands. They're plus size brands. And I have a couple reasons for why that is. So one, I am a plus size woman myself. And so when I first started buying things to resell, I bought what I was comfortable with knowing, and that was plus size brands. But also you're going to see on here that these are pretty good brands just to sell in general. A lot of women like these brands. They're good quality brands. And while they may not sell for a ton of money, they're really good sellers as far as the frequency that they sell. So number 4 is Lane Bryant. I tend to pick up a lot of Lane Bryant, but only if it's like $2 or less, and tend to pick it up at garage sales. I sold 13 items this past year of Lane Bryant items. And number 3 is technically also a Lane Bryant brand. It is Kashik, which is their like lingerie bra line. I sold 13 Kashik items as well. So technically, if you lump them together, I sold 26 Lane Bryant items. And I think that's because, again, it's a good quality plus size woman's brand. And this second one surprised me a little because I tend to not pick this up, this brand up more recently. I did pick it up a lot during the summer because I could find it frequently and it was low cost, but it's Maurice's. And when I do pick it up, I want to pick it up at $1 or less just because, again, it doesn't have a super high selling amount, but I actually sold 16 Maurice's items over the last year or 8 months that I was selling. So I'm definitely going to keep that in mind. And this summer, whenever I'm garage selling, I'll definitely look for some good quality pieces. All right, so my top selling brand, as far as number of items I sold of this brand, did not shock me at all. I knew it was going to be number one, and yeah, it didn't shock me. Number one of my most selling brand was Torrid. So I love picking up Torrid. It sells for a decent amount of money, and I often find it, and sometimes I keep a few items for myself, but it's pretty available in my area. I like finding it at thrift stores, especially on half off days, but I know what it's worth. I know what I can get out of it. And so again, that's my kind of comfort zone as far as my bread and butter brands. And you're going to see a huge jump. So number two was Maurice's, and I sold 16 items. Number one was Torrid, and I sold 74 Torrid items over the last year. Now that doesn't surprise me because, again, I love this brand and I know what good quality items they have. So if you aren't picking up any of these top 5 brands, I definitely would if you can find them inexpensively in your area. So now we've recapped 2020. I do have a couple goals for myself and my business in 2021. First one being, I would love to make $10,000 in sales in 2021. So I saw that I could make $6,000-ish in gross sales at around 8 months. And so I'm definitely hoping that over 12 months, I can surpass 10,000 gross sales. I also have a goal to hit $1,000 profit or net earnings month, at least 1 month. I'd love to have multiple months. And I got super close this year. I think my highest was around $850. And so I'm really looking to surpass that goal as well. My third goal is not really Poshmark, but it is related to Poshmark. So I recently, about a month and a half ago, started this YouTube channel, and I would love to grow this channel. I think it's super important to have a community of people that are doing very similar things to your business and being able to share knowledge and just having a group of friends to communicate with about what you're passionate about. Now, my husband and my mom even has a Poshmark account, but my husband and my mom go thrifting with me, and I wouldn't say it's my husband's favorite, but he likes spending time with me. But there's just some things that, he just doesn't get excited about like me. And so I love having a community of people that I can explain what I purchased and the great deals I got, and they be excited too. So I am hoping to grow my channel to 1,000 subscribers in 2021 or by the end of 2021. Right now we're sitting about 215, so it's going to be a lofty goal, but I'm really excited about being consistent with the videos I put out. And that being said, if you all have any suggestions or videos you'd like me to make, please comment down below and provide those for me. I would love to take a look at it and see what I can do. I do have a GoPro, and I'm just trying to find a clip that I can put on like my jacket or something like that so I can take you guys thrifting with me more in store. And I'm really looking forward to not only YouTube, but my Poshmark business, seeing where both things can go this next year. I hope you guys have made some goals for 2021 for yourself, and let's achieve them together. I hope to see you guys in my next video.